Guys are back for more Saturday Slaughter in Space. We've got Carlos back with the Tau. 5,000 points of Tau. Everything's starting on the table. Look at that. Going up against Nick with his Necrons. Necrons will be coming on turn one. They start off the table and everything's going to come in from his table edges over there. The scenario is fighting withdrawal. So all the Tau have started on the table. There's 3 objectives. They're kind of starting them already. 1, 2, 3. The Tau had to deploy everything on the table. They're waiting for the Necrons to come in. The Necrons are going to come in from this long edge or that short edge over there. The Tau have a special rule today. They all get hit and run. Otherwise, the Necrons are going to have to come at them hard to get those objectives. They're all set back, set up their firing line, just waiting for them. Let's see what happens. Here we go, turn 1. Bottom of turn 1. And there was some damage, nothing extreme. The Tau are just spread out a little. Nick still has a bunch of Necron stuff in reserve over there. They might be coming in next turn. We got to roll. The Satan is hiding behind there. He lost a couple Scarabs. He lost a couple warriors to those broadsides. Tau didn't take a whole lot of damage. They lost a couple drones here. I think that was about it. Nick did lose an arc. One of the arcs went down, and his croissant went down, and that little crabby walker went down. So yeah, the Necrons took a little damage from the broadsides, lost some armor. But we'll see what happens when those Necron reserves start coming in. Here we go, turn 2. Bottom of turn 2, and a pretty good one for the Tau. Nick was really hoping his Necron reinforcements would come in. Only 3 units came in. 2 of them mishapped. Unfortunately, they didn't get destroyed. 2 went back into reserve, and 1 got repositioned way over there in the far corner of the table, but that's okay because they can teleport on their turn. So the Tau, yeah, he did get his Canoptics in. They deep strike right in front of those tanks there and got taken out. Couldn't stand up to those railguns and whatnot. I mean, like, the Tau shot almost their whole army at him, and but did take him down. They took a couple warriors out here. Not a big deal. These guys are still locked up in melee. These the Scarabs and the Kroot. So, yeah, the Tau are still holding their gunfire position. We're going into turn 3. It should be a lot easier for Nick to get his reserves in, and then it'll get really interesting. So here we go, turn 3. Bottom of turn 3, and now it's getting exciting. Almost all of the Necron reserves came in, except for 1 unit, but finally, Nick gets some guys in. And, yeah, he teleported his big retinue right here. Right in the middle of the Tau. I mean, they're a big hand-to-hand unit. Could have done some massive damage. But wow, the whole Tau army around them in a circle just turned around and fired pretty much every single thing they had. And wiped them all out. Didn't get any will-be back rolls. But that one HQ resurrected. And he's going to teleport out next turn, which should be kind of fun. But the monolith is in. That thing's going to be coming, moving up for objectives. Nick lost a couple croissants to the railguns, but this guy's still here. He's immobilized, though. The snipers are in. The destroyers are in. The warriors are moving up. The immortals are there. So, yeah. Then Carlos realized, oh, no, he needs to get some troops on the objectives. So he ran this devilfish back here. He's going to go backwards and try and hold that one. Nobody's holding that one. The retinue was hoping to contest it. But that dude can also teleport out and back in the following turn. So he's going to be coming back with friends. And these guys are moving up here for this objective. And Nick's going to be swarming that in a minute. So, yeah, it's getting interesting. That's what these guys back here are waiting for. They're waiting for that Lord to come back and teleport them in. So, yeah, it's not over yet. Turn 3, it's actually just starting to get good. Here we go. Here comes turn 4. Bottom of turn 4, and it's getting interesting. It's getting tactical. These Kroot right here got ripped by these warriors. Came up here and rapid fire on them. Wow, took out like 17 Kroot and they broke. They're probably going to fall off the table next turn. The monolith got off a big ordnance blast. Boom, took out a few fire warriors, 2 Kroot, a couple pathfinders in there. these Necrons are running up. They're making that way towards that objective in the middle there, and it could end next turn. Next turn could be the last turn, and the Necron's definitely going to get that objective. This objective in the middle, look at the Tau around that objective. You think they want that objective there? Yeah, I think so too. The thing being, the HQ, the Necron commander over there, he came back to pick up his boys, and he can teleport back in. He's going to try to contest that objective. Or is he going to go for this one in the back? The tower camping that objective, trying to keep him at least 3 inches away. And Carlos did everything he could to cover the table, but there's an opening there, and there's openings here. It's going to be a sketchy deep strike to deep strike that Necron Lord back in with his guys. I'm in the middle, I think, is a lost cause. They can't take all that out. But if those Necrons deep strike over here and assault them on turn 5, maybe it'll go to turn 6. Nick is really going to need this one to go to turn 6 and go for that objective in the back, because that one in the middle is just locked up way too much, and he's got that one over there to begin with, so that's all good. So, yeah, it's getting sketchy, it's getting tactical, it's coming down to a lot of dice. We're getting some crazy dice rolls, but that's how it goes. We'll see what happens. Here comes turn 5. Bottom of turn 5. Well, Carlos hasn't gone yet, but we're going to skip ahead and make a roll and see if this game's going to end or not, because it could very well be over whether Carlos takes his turn or not, because the Tau definitely have that one in the back, and they've clogged up the middle so hard, you're going to have to call a plumber to get to that one. This little Lord's coming in, but he's going to get graped by all those rapid fire shots. And the Necrons definitely have that one, so it's 1 Necron to 2 Tau. But what happened during the Necron phase was that retinue with the Lord, they tried to teleport back here and get in their face and come up on that objective, but bam, landed over here, mishapped. Carlos sent him all the way back to the other side of the table. Now there's an off chance if those guys can teleport back. If it goes to turn 6 and those guys teleport back, you know, Nick may have another chance to try and get up on this objective. But if the game ends now, it's obviously going to be 2-1. So we're just going to skip ahead before Carlos bothers moving and shooting and all that, because if the game ends, it's going to end just like this, the way it is, 2-1. So they rolled off to see who rolls for the end of game, and Nick got the roll. So it's going to be over on a 1 or 2, and Nick needs a 3 or higher to keep it going. Let's see it.
Game
1.
over.
That is going to be game over. So there's no point in finishing the Tau phase, because it's going to end just like this anyways. 2 for the Tau and 1 for the Crons. So interesting. Yeah, I kept thinking like, oh, the Taus are in a defensive position, which is the nature of the scenario, and they started in the back holding those objectives, which is fine. But the more we thought about it, the reserves, Nick was just not getting the reserves roll. These guys, the snipers, wounds on 2s, they didn't even come in till turn 4. They got 1 whole shot off, and most of his guys didn't even come in till turn 3. The Monolith and the Mortals and all those guys, and the Deep Strikers. So yeah, the reserves just didn't come in fast enough, and in the meantime, the Tau were picking off what was on the table and just, you know, choked up the middle here, and by then it's just too late to get those Deep Strikers around there. So yeah, that was the big chance, but we're going to call it. That's game. We'll call one for the Tau for the greater good. Good game, you guys.